All right, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining us in this live stream. I'm here with Corey.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us once again. So here in this live stream, we wanted to jump on here quickly and run something by you to see if this is something you agree with as far as an idea that's floating around out there right now to change Social Security in a major, major way. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know that there are a ton of different proposals, concepts, ideas, all kinds of different things that are floating around out there, and I continue to bring them to you. But I'd love to hear your feedback on this one. Again, here's what's interesting about this. It would benefit some people in a pretty big way, and other people, probably not so much. So we'll talk about the details here in this video. Any comments, anything
yes.
like that?
Angela Rogers, Ryan Kelly, John Russell, Matthew Pace, Barbara Haskell. Those are people right now.
Nice. Some shout outs right away. That's great.
Leonard Moore.
Awesome. Okay, yeah.
Hazel Green.
What's that?
Hazel Green, Ken Davis, Joan Kirkham, Mark Benjamin. Okay, that's all for now.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll do more shout outs here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, just a couple minutes. It's just they're kind of like rolling in, but it'll take a minute, I think.
Corey will keep tabs on all the names coming in here, so we'll do shout outs here in a couple minutes. But, all right, so here's the deal on this. And again, the proposals keep rolling in. It's crazy the different things that are being introduced right now. Now, I've said this before in other videos, and I want to say it again really quickly as well, okay? So here's the thing. Again, sometimes I see comments down below in the comment section that say, like, don't talk about it unless it's going to happen. Well, here's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen yet. That's the problem. That's the major problem right now, is because we know for a fact Social Security is going to be changing. In fact, if it doesn't change, that's going to be really bad. That's going to be even worse. We want it to change. Now, again, before you don't get upset with me by me saying that, but here's the thing. If they don't do anything, guess what? Benefits are going to be cut by about 25%. So, I mean, like, pick your poison here, right? Which one do we want? Do we want benefits to be cut by, call it 25% or so, give or take a little bit, depending on the reports you look at? Or do we want some kind of reform to come in? Okay, so that's kind of the difference here. We want something to come in, and we know that there will be changes. So, that's kind of the situation we're in. Either we get changes that are going to impact people, or we don't get any changes and then we see benefits cut basically overnight by 25% in a handful of years. So that's kind of the trade-off there. That's a big, big deal. So do you want to do some more shout-outs quick?
Yes, I would. Let's see here. Gil Garcia, Joe Miller, Lori Spinks, Jennifer Meredith, Tamika Davis, Helen Meering, Kenny White, Jason Kraft, thank you for being a member.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Carl Whitaker, Angela Warren, Rebecca Bruner, Linda Green, Mike Allerange, Aldo Truden, Dee Garcia, Luann Rossetti, Suzanne Roth, Linda Angelico, Sean 8897, Manuel Johnson, Jarita Duckworth, thank you for being a member.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark Benjamin, Shauna Benavides, Adina Bryan, John McNary, Ryan Carver, Rebecca Smith. Have a good night. She has to go to bed.
Thank you, Rebecca. You
Nora
too.
Hooper, Randall Franson, Pam Miller, Just One Show Holiday, Mary Hardwig, Jason Kraft, Victoria DeSalvia, Betty Hubbard, Chimito, Tina Anderson, thank you for being a member. Jason Kraft, I can't remember if I just said thank you for being a member to you too, and Jarita Duckworth. But yeah, thank you again. I just want to make sure. Thomas Ward, Roxanne Torres, La Walker, Vince Ledoux, Mary Hardwig, Ryan Kelly, Mark Benjamin, Nora Hooper, Anita Rutland. I'm going to stop there because we probably should just keep going.
Okay. Wow. Good list, by the
that's
way.
That's a great list.
A lot of names that have been around a long time, and then also I noticed quite a few new names there as well. So if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe down below. Again, totally free to do so. Free's my favorite price. Free's Corey's favorite price.
Yes.
We love Free's stuff, and again, it's always been free here 100% of the time. Always has been, always will be. And again, we're here for you in any way that we can be to advocate on your behalf. And again, keep you posted on everything going on right now. It's a nutso time right there, right now, and it has been the last couple of years, and it will continue to be for the next couple of years as well. So yeah, again, subscribe down below if you haven't done so. All right.
Also, I want to say thank you to John for the, I can't remember what this, the sticker.
Cool.
Thank you so much,
a cool
John.
sticker.
That's awesome.
What's the sticker of?
The sticker is a 10, and it's a lemon head, and it's jumping around.
Oh, nice.
And that's,
That's
really,
cool.
really kind. So thank you so much. We genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, John. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks, John. All right, so let's talk through the details. And again, Corey will do more shout-outs here in a couple minutes here, but let's roll through some content here. All right, so a bunch of different details floating around out there. Now, this is the one that I recently read about. And again, I want to bring this to your attention really quickly here. Now, there's many different proposals about this one idea, but I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about this. And again, leave your comments down below in the chat box there, or if you're watching the replay of this, leave a comment on the video. And again, I'll be interested to read those comments. But here's what they're talking about. Turning Social Security into a poverty level program. Now, let me tell you the details about this, okay? Now, here's the thing. Remember this much. Social Security right now, your benefits are based on basically your 35 years of your income over the 35 years that they take. And again, if you're receiving SSDI, obviously calculations are a little bit different. But basically, it's, you pay in X dollars over so many years, and they use calculations to determine how much your benefits are going to be, right? On a very basic level, that's basically how they determine what your benefits are going to be, right? So how much you pay in over how much time, and then they figure out how much you're going to get, right? So that's kind of how the calculation goes. But here's what they're talking about with Social Security. So they want to turn it into a poverty level program. Now, a quick little, preface on this. The poverty level right now, the federal poverty line, is a little over $1,200 a month. Okay, so a little over $1,200, $1,200+ a month right now. So here's what they're talking about doing. Is there's two different iterations of this. Number one, turning the program into a poverty level program, which is everybody gets a poverty level benefit, as in everybody gets the federal poverty line benefit, and that's it. Everybody gets the exact same benefit amount. I think that's going to be hard to get by, okay? So that's one iteration of...
Just to kind of cut in, so when you say we'll make it a poverty level program, that's what you mean.
Yeah, literally turning every single benefit into one that is consistent right on line with the federal poverty line. So a little over $1,200 a month. That's what I'm saying.
And so right now, some people get more than that.
Some people get way more,
and
way
some
more.
People get
some
less.
people get way less. Yeah.
So if you're on, what benefit would this affect? If you're on SSI or SSDI or Social Security?
Well, again, that's a good question because we remember all of these benefits are administered by Social Security. So that's a really good question, okay? It's basically all encompassing what they're talking about. Now, SSI would be the one factor in which they might say, well, this program technically isn't Social Security, which, yes, is true, but it is still administered by Social Security. So then we could also say, well, the argument would be this is also administered by Social Security, and it kind of falls into the same parameters as the program. So maybe this would be, kind of put in there as well, okay? So, by the way, there's proposals out there right now to lift SSI benefits up to the federal poverty line as well. So there's standalone bills, the SSI Restoration Act, that's another one. That's in there as well for SSI specifically. So maybe as long as they're doing something like this, maybe they would also do it for SSI. So that's a good question.
Okay, so could they potentially just take the people who are making more, okay, they keep getting more, because why would they take away benefits? But then the people who are not getting that currently just be brought up to the federal poverty line?
It's a good one. You should be the person proposing this. That's iteration number 2.
Now
it actually really is. She should be in Congress.
We have not pre-discussed this, by the way. No. I'm legit, completely clueless.
She could be one of the brainiacs running the show over there. Seriously.
I just said I was clueless.
You might be one of the smartest ones in the chamber. Yeah. All right, so that's iteration number 2. Yes, iteration number 2 is the other idea of this would be let's leave everybody higher than the federal poverty line, but everybody below the federal poverty line, let's raise their benefit up to the federal poverty line. But guess what? How are they going to pay for it, Congresswoman?
Well, because I was thinking that would be the tricky part, because you think, okay, we'll take from the little bit richer people who are receiving.
She's right on. That's what they're talking about. Seriously, did you write this?
Which rich people? The people who are actually rich, or the medium rich people, or the people who are poor rich?
The highest income beneficiaries. That's what they're talking about.
Oh, the highest income beneficiaries, the people who make the most on the program?
Yes.
See,
who receive the highest benefits.
Okay, so not people who make the most money who don't receive benefits, but people who make the most on their benefits would have to pay for the people who to bring those lower people up. So they're gonna. I would say, have you ever heard of Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor?
Okay.
Is that what this is?
Well, I wouldn't really call it stealing, but yeah, I guess the same concept. I guess the analogy that I would like to use in that situation would be, think of like a mountain range, right? You got the really high peaks, you got the low valleys, things like this. Think of those as like benefits, right? You got the low benefits at the very low end. You got the peaks, the people receiving the highest income benefit, right? Or the highest benefits from Social Security, which, by the way, quick side note, the highest benefit you can get right now in 2024 is a little over $4,800 a month. That's the highest benefit for the highest income beneficiaries. That's a lot.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would that be because you've earned enough through paying in for Social Security that's the benefit that you get because you've paid in?
Yeah, so it's based on earning a big salary, a big income for a lot of years, basically tapping out all 35 years, and then also waiting until basically the age of 70 to claiming. So yeah, there's a lot of factors to get that 4,800. Like very small percentage of people actually get that much. But yeah, that's kind of the factors behind it. So kind of waiting to claim benefits, and then also having a lot of years, 35 years of a very high income, basically tapping it out. So that's how you get that.
So they want to chop those people off to give to the lower people.
Yeah.
And I'm also just going to throw out there, I'm saying like take from the rich and give to the poor, like the lowest people who are making the lowest. But just because you're making the highest amount on Social Security, I don't know if rich is the right word, right?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't use that word.
I mean, to be real, $4,800 a month is like $57-ish thousand a year. So
that would definitely help.
57 grand out of your mailbox, or mailbox money, essentially. That's pretty nice. I mean, let's be real for a second, okay? 57 grand just deposited into your account every year from Social Security. That's a nice little gift. It is. There's very few people that get that, though, by the way, but that's just that is the maximum. All right, so really quickly, the analogy that I was talking about with the mountain range, right? So think of the high peaks and the low valleys. Now picture like a bulldozer, right? Driving along the peaks of all the mountains, chopping the tops off and pushing it down into the valleys, right? So that's kind of the analogy that I'm thinking, is that basically they're chopping the peaks off, the highest income people, and then plowing that money down into the lowest, the valleys, and kind of flattening it out. So they're kind of flattening the mountain range, right? You're taking the peaks off and you're bringing the valleys up. Does that kind of make sense? I don't like that. You don't like that analogy?
No, I like the analogy. I just don't think it's fair.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I like the analogy. It makes a lot of sense.
Right.
But I don't think that's fair.
That's kind of the idea behind it, okay? Because they got to get the money from somewhere. And tapping the trust fund to actually go in and say, well, we're just going to take more out of the trust fund. That's not really an option, right? Because here's the thing. All these proposals that they're coming out with right now, and again, you've heard me talk about them. I could sit here and rattle off probably 25 different names of bills out there. It would take me a second to think of all of them, but I could probably tell you 25 different names or so of different bills that are out there right now. But here's the thing. Every single one of them, they want to do different things, different changes to the program. But here's the thing. They need to get the money from somewhere. They need to raise more money. How do they do that? Well, they could take it from higher income beneficiaries. They could raise taxes. Again, the list goes on and on, right? So they got to get money from somewhere, and it's not coming out of the trust fund unless it's funded by somebody, right? So I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense.
But anyway, I'd love to hear your feedback on this. What do you think about turning it into like a poverty level program? In other words, every single person is either guaranteed a minimum benefit of the federal poverty line, and your benefits adjust accordingly every single year to the federal poverty line, or all beneficiaries get the same benefit amount, which is the federal poverty line. To be honest with you, I don't think that has any chance in passing iteration number 2 that I just talked about right there, which would be everybody gets a federal poverty line benefit amount. I don't think that's going to pass. However, lifting the program up where every single person gets at least a benefit of the federal poverty line, I wouldn't be shocked to see something like that at some point. I'm just saying. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. Well, I guarantee it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen, next week or anything like that. But I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that at some point sooner than later, because here's the thing. How many people receiving fixed income benefits from Social Security are below the federal poverty line? I can tell you, 10.6 million seniors. That's only seniors, not taking into consideration disability and everybody like that. 10.6 million people who are seniors, 65 or older, are in poverty. That's what we know right now, living on Social Security benefits. So
people are not happy about the idea of taking from the people who are higher on the Social Security totem pole and bringing it to the people who are making less.
Okay. I appreciate the feedback. That's interesting.
The people I'm looking at are not thrilled.
Here's the thing, though, too. Let's just be real.
But they do agree,
with a poverty level benefit.
The poverty level should be higher.
Yep.
But they don't think it's fair to take from people who've worked and worked.
And that's the thing too. So let's just put ourselves in that position, okay? Let's just say that all of us were sitting here getting, let's just say for round purposes, $4,500 a month in Social Security. First off, we'd be all very happy, right?
But then also Jamie Turnage wrote, why does the rich get away with paying nothing? I think that they necessarily, okay, and then, but Jason Crafts is saying take from the rich and give it to the, I'm assuming he's going to say like lower income people.
But pay nothing. But here's the thing, though. Was that Jamie?
Yeah.
Again, just talking
about
this. He
wants the rich to pay, or he or she, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, wants the rich to pay.
But here's the thing, though, too. We got to remember this. Again, I'm just kind of speaking for everybody here so we can all kind of see like the whole big picture. The only way that they can get high benefits like that is literally tapping out their Social Security payroll taxes every single year for 35 years.
So they've been paying in tons of taxes and tons. I mean, they've been paying tons of taxes for their
35
entire
years.
Life.
Yeah. And obviously the
way
cap
more
changes.
Than they're getting back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
The cap changes every year. As far as how much right now in 2024, it's $168,600. So all income up to that threshold is taxable by Social Security. So in other words, every year they're basically tapping that out. So they're paying taxes on all of that. So again, I don't want to get anybody worked up here. That's not my objective. I'm just saying let's just kind of look at the big picture here, right? So,
but people do think that tax the millionaires. They don't get taxed enough. So
okay.
I guess it's maybe don't tax the people who are I don't know. They're just a variety,
Yeah, for sure.
Stop the double taxation as an improved measurement. Somebody says they need to stop giving money and benefits to people who aren't quite from this country. They should raise taxes for high income. And Jamie's a man, so thank you for clarifying. Sorry, I didn't know, and I didn't want to be rude. So I think just kind of a variety.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Pay a lot more in taxes than way back in the beginning.
Yeah. And again, it's interesting to have this discussion because there's so many good ideas, so many good concepts, and we agree with a lot of it, right?
Quit capping the taxes on the rich Americans. They make them pay for every bit of their income. So, I mean, it's kind of a variety. I think the idea is that, I think the takeaway is that we need to help people who are low in, very, who aren't even at the federal poverty line. I think we can all agree that definitely needs to happen.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's horrible to not even be at the federal poverty line on a government-funded program. So it's here, we'll give you money, but it's not even enough to meet the federal poverty line.
Right.
That's just not
pathetic,
acceptable.
Right?
That's not acceptable. So the money does need to come from somewhere. And I think maybe I'm just feeling do we need to take it from cut down the people who are on the highest Social Security standpoint? Maybe take it from people who aren't getting Social Security.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
what I would say.
Maybe that's kind of what I feel. I don't know how I feel. I guess I'm just kind of.
I guess maybe, again, I don't want to take sides on this. I don't want to, everybody has their own opinion. That's fine. And again, it's interesting having this discussion because this is literally the conversation that lawmakers are having too. It's nobody has an answer, right? Everybody has their own opinion. That's totally fine. It's totally fine. But the problem is they can't come together on an agreement, right? Everybody disagrees in Congress, right? But here's what I would say going into this. If I were a lawmaker, I would say this much. Okay, let's not take anybody's benefit, but maybe let's stop giving raises to higher income people. If somebody's sitting on a $4,800 monthly benefit, hey, guess what? Let's just draw a line somewhere, or maybe let's have a phase out. Anybody getting a benefit at maybe, I don't know, $3,000 and up, it phases out their annual increase, right? So maybe, over a short amount of time, let's just say $3,000 to $3,500, it phases out to zero. Anything over $3,500 or something like that. Again, I'm just making up round numbers here, okay? But let's just say it's $3,500, you just phase out and you get no more COLAs after you hit a certain dollar amount. I don't know. And then again, take that money, shuffle it back to the lower income. And then over time, it all gets brought up to kind of, federal poverty line. I don't know. To me, that seems like
I guess what I don't like is I don't like the idea. I know Matt's probably just stop talking about this. What I don't like is the idea of taking away benefits that people have being received, even if they're high benefits. I just don't think we should be taking away benefits from people.
Yeah.
Rather, like, taxing people who are not getting benefits. But I just have a problem with the idea of taking benefits away from people, even if they have high benefits.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I don't agree that people should be living below the federal poverty line. So, like, I want to make that clear. But I don't like the idea of taking money away from people.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. That's kind of the rough situation. And again, too, maybe somebody, has a high income benefit, and maybe they worked for 35 years making a good income, but maybe during their retirement, maybe they're struggling. And what if they came in and said, hey, we're going to cut your benefit because you have a high income benefit? And all of a sudden the person says, well, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now, right?
Yeah, because they don't have any other savings. Like, this is it.
Maybe they're only living on Social Security. And again, who knows? We don't know everybody's situation. So I don't know. It's a tough discussion. Or it's a tough kind of situation.
I feel like it's kind of controversial.
Definitely controversial. That's why they can't come together on an agreement.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad to hear your feedback on this. I really appreciate that.
People are really fired up.
Okay.
I feel like
there was a comment in there a minute ago.
This is interesting.
There was a comment in there a couple minutes ago about somebody said, stop the double taxation. You won't believe how many articles I'm reading right now, how many people are getting hosed right now because of they need to file a tax return now, and they need to file and pay taxes on their Social Security benefit. Why? Because of the 8.7% COLA last year. It pushed a ton of people over the line that they now need to pay taxes on their Social Security. So again, that's a rough one as well, okay? I had a video out, I don't know, maybe a month ago where I talked about the different taxation on Social Security benefits. And another quick side note is as well, Angie Craig in the House of Representatives, she's a Democrat, but she was out, I'm going to say maybe a week and a half ago or so ago, and she was out reintroducing the You Earned It, You Keep It Act. It's a piece of legislation that removes federal taxes on Social Security benefits. Again, there's about 3 pieces of legislation out there right now that do exactly that. This is one of them. There's another one called, Social Security Check Tax Cut Act. That's another one. And there's another one called Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act. Those are the 3 that are out there right now to do all the exact same thing, remove federal taxes on Social Security benefits so there's not double taxation. So anyway, she was just out again saying, hey, stop taxing benefits. And here's the interesting thing. Again, I'm going to say this really quickly. This is not a political statement, but this is the truth. Generally, Democrats like to, raise taxes, okay? Again, not taking sides here. I'm just simply saying that's kind of the fact of the matter. She's a Democrat even coming out saying, hey, stop taxing Social Security benefits. So it's interesting to hear that right out of a Democrat in the House saying, we got to stop this double taxation. So it's kind of nice to see this from both sides, right? They're all saying it. Mm-hmm. So again, I know this is kind of a little bit of a controversial topic. Again, we don't take political sides. In fact, to be completely honest with you, we kind of agree with both sides with different topics.
I feel like different topics.
We go right down the middle when it comes to a lot of political issues.
It's tricky.
I would say I'm very much down the middle. I agree with some from both sides, very much. And I definitely disagree with some from both sides as well.
I think it's really tricky.
It's very tricky.
It's really tricky.
Yeah.
I think, though, what I like, I shouldn't say I like to see this, but what I think is a kind way to look at it that a lot of people are writing, is they're saying, I am not getting very much money, we'll say. Like, I'm not getting the full benefit. I'm not getting a ton. But I don't want it to be taken away from people who did work and pay in, and I don't want those people cut down.
Yeah.
So I feel like what's nice is that people don't want to take from other people. I think that's kind. And I like seeing kindness. So whether it's, here's the thing, we can't choose. I mean, we don't get to make the rules, obviously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want, this would be really
this would be a tough one.
This would be really tough. Because what do you do? But I like seeing that people kind of feel like, I want to make more, but I don't want to cut someone else down in the process. And I think that that's very kind.
Yeah. That's very thoughtful.
I'm not saying everybody is saying that, but I just feel like that's really kind.
Yeah, it's very thoughtful to think of that.
So I think that's really nice.
Again, maybe why a lot of these politician people don't want to tackle this, because it is such a controversial topic.
Can we quick say what is the poverty line? People want to know.
Yeah, it's $15,060 this year for 2024. $15,060. So that's what it is for the year. Yeah. So it's not much. It's a little over $1,200 a month. So, yep.
Yeah.
It adjusts every year. This year it went up by 3.29% over last year. So it's a little bit, not much, But yeah, it did adjust higher.
Yeah. I think we should do some shout outs.
Oh, yeah.
Wrap this out.
Shout outs. Again, thank you for all the feedback down below in the comment section. Again, we don't have any influence on this, okay? It would be nice if we did, but I don't know if I'd want to put my foot in this water. There's a lot of crocodiles in there. You know what I mean? It's I mean, seriously, I could throw some input out there, but first off, they don't really care what I have to say.
What is the federal poverty line for 3 people?
It's a good question.
Do you know that answer?
I do not know that. I think it's in the low-ish to mid 20,000 range. We can look it up. There's a table. There's a table I've looked at online. It's 15,060 for one person. It's like 19,000 for 2 people.
I have 2023 income numbers.
No.
That's not right.
No, just look up 2024 federal poverty line. You'll see a table.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think it's like 22,000 or 24,000 or something.
So this is what it says. One family, 15,060. Did you just say that?
That's one person.
Okay, 2 people, 20,440.
Yep.
3 people, 25,820.
Okay. So 25,820.
I'm just looking at Google.
Household of 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Household of 2, 20,880, I think you said?
20,440.
Oh, sorry, 440. 880 was double 440. I don't even know how I pulled that out. Sorry, anyway. Yeah, so 20,440 is a household of 2. $15,060 is a household of 1. So, yep.
Yeah.
It's not much to live on these days.
No, it's not.
Not much.
Well, I think we should do some shout-outs.
Yeah, shout-outs.
We've got Susan M. Harris, Crescent Moon, Janice Noble, Kalani Bordeaux, Angela Olmo, TJ Cole, Mark Snyder, Mark Benjamin, Jamie Turnage, Barbara Wilbur, Diana Hayden, Ori K., Rebecca Bruner, Anita Rutland, Paula Noble, Larry Shin, Matthew Pace, Susan Ryan, Caitlin Peckett, Jason Kraft, Drew Down 87, Victoria Ruffin, Little Stinker, Jerry Middleton, Tracy K., Raymond Yarbrough, Matthew Hill, Nessa Tucker, Lyndia Sanders, Dolores Malera, John Beckham, Aaron Werner, Joseph Erickson, Wendy Lembke, Mapuna Kapuna, Kamla Shuri, Joni Filia, and Gregory Stevens, and Brian Burton.
You know what I like about that list? There's a lot of names you read now that I heard at the beginning of the video.
I noticed
that, too. A lot
of
people stuck around. That's really cool.
I noticed
Thank you.
that, too. I think that's
really
very cool.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. And again, we always appreciate when you join us. We totally get it. We're here late. Everybody has other things to do. You know, we want to be respectful of your time. But seriously, when you hang out with us like this, it's awesome. It's awesome to have you here.
Yeah. I know. I think what's going to happen when we take out this video, when we post it, but when we get off of the live, is Matt's going to say, Corey, less opinions.
We will see.
He's going to say that to me for sure.
You know, Corey, you say a lot of things in these live streams that I don't say in videos.
That's what he's
just
saying.
Say.
I'm probably going to get axed from live streams. So this might be our last time together.
No, I doubt it. No. Again, I always bring the information to you straight in the videos, but there's sometimes I don't like putting my opinions into videos just because, honestly, you don't really care. I'm guessing you probably don't.
Well, and you know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
My opinion just doesn't matter. I want to give you the facts based on the research that I've done, rather than sitting here being like, well, I think... Who cares what I think? Here's the facts, right? So that's why I like to keep my opinions out of it generally.
I just kind of threw mine out there, so just take it for what it is.
Right.
I guess what I like to see is I just like to see fairness. I just like to see fairness. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair for people to live below the federal poverty line.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Again, it's a big debate. That's why it's out there. Mm-hmm. That's why they haven't come together on anything, because they don't know. They don't know what to do. They're going to offend somebody no matter what they do. It's a rough situation. Honestly, it's kind of tough to be in that situation. Maybe why they keep kicking it down the road so that they can, the next Congress will figure it out. The next administration, the next one. Well, guess what? We're running out of nexts. There's not that many left until we basically get a huge cut to benefits. So they've got to figure something out soon, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, to be fair, people are writing thank you for the discussion and whatnot.
This is cool. Thank you.
We usually don't have. It's not really a discussion.
Yeah, it's usually me just rambling.
It's usually me just rambling. I felt like this was kind of interesting because there was more discussion involved. And I actually thought this was kind of a fun live stream concept. So I think we should do something like this again in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless if I get the axe.
Right.
I know I'm going to be in trouble.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Everyone's being very kind.
Again, if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe down below. Again, totally free to do so. We're here for you every day, no matter what. Live streams. We try to do a couple per week. Kind of depends on how things are going and if we, think if it works out. But we try to get on here live a couple times a week. Videos every day. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's just look around a little bit. If you think it's chaotic right now, just give it a couple months here. It's gonna be even worse. So. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, people are being kind. They like all these things, and they just want fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to bring on, open up some hotlines. Call the hotline. You know what I mean?
That'd be interesting.
You can call in and be like, oh, well, here's what I think.
Like a radio.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then we could be like no, okay. I was gonna be like, we could be like the DJ. People ever heard this when you're listening to the radio and somebody's like talking too long? The DJ's like, well, okay, and they like turn on a music, a song, and they like totally cut the person off.
Matt would just keep pushing that when I talk.
Well, Corey, looks like we're going to another caller.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. All right, well, thanks for joining us again. We know it's really late here, but we really appreciate this conversation. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah. I think we should end this, guys.
One quick side note. I want to say this really fast. By the way, the free internet, the ACP.
Somebody just said that.
Yes.
Somebody just wants to know about it.
Yes, sorry. I was going to say this earlier. Sorry,
Angela
I totally
Omo.
forgot about it right now. Free internet program ends tonight. Tonight, last day. They're accepting applications until midnight East Coast time, and that's in like 1 hour. Well, no, it's not. It's in like an hour and a half. I don't know what time it is right now. But it's in like an hour and a half. Okay, so midnight East Coast time tonight, Wednesday, February, what's the date? 7th? February 7th. Yes, Wednesday, February 7th, tonight, midnight East Coast time, they will stop taking applications. Okay, so you have like an hour and a half, if you're watching this right now, to enroll in the ACP program. You can go to getinternet.gov. Again, internet, sorry, I'm talking like a fool. Getinternet.gov. Again, getinternet.gov. You can sign up there and get details, okay? But otherwise, call your service provider. Hopefully, they have a 24-hour service line where you can call them. But they will stop taking applications tonight in like an hour and a half, okay? So it looks like it's over. That's it. They have about enough money to get us through maybe March or April. We don't know quite yet. I just read a report today saying it's going to be over by May. That means through April. But we don't know. So it looks like we have like maybe 2 months left at most on the ACP program. So, by the way, there is a piece of legislation out there right now, $7 billion on the table to extend this out. In fact, I had a video talking about it the other day. It's called Affordability Connectivity Extension Act. That's the name of the legislation. But they're trying to get another $7 billion for it. Lawmakers are not passing it right now. So I'm just saying it's ending tonight. So anyway, that's it.
Okay.
So sorry to sit there and hammer that home, but just want to make that clear. It's going to be rough for a lot of people. $30 a month, going to start banging your accounts again. So again, another $30 that you need for food and things like that that you won't have. So again, I'm just saying that's what's going on right now. Rough times for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's really sad.
So anyway, hope that helps you. Again, if you have not applied, you might want to jump on it for the next hour and a half or so, give or take a little bit. And yeah, we're going to let you go. Go ahead and go do that.
I want to quick answer a question.
Oh, yeah.
Doc Ennett wants to know, what is our favorite part about live streaming?
Chatting with all of you. By the way, Doc Ennick's very kind. Sends a lot of nice emails. Thank you. But by the way, I saw your last ones. You sent them like a month ago. I apologize. I never responded. I should respond to you. I'm very sorry about that. So I'm terrible about responding to emails sometimes, and I definitely read them. So thank you for the nice messages.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, I like live streams to connect with you guys in the chat. Yeah. But I'm going to just say this, I like spending this time with Matt too.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's like a date that's not really a date.
Right.
No food.
Right. Yeah. But this is actually
Plus,
really
we're
fun.
online.
No, but seriously.
It's fun. I really enjoy this. I really do.
Yeah. But when we turn off these things, like when we jump off the live streams, we talk about it for probably the next hour. We'll sit here and chat about it and be like, that was so fun.
Read through comments.
The comments
that
were
I didn't
fun.
get to say out loud,
Yeah.
obviously, to Matt.
We read out the chat. We read through the comments that are rolling in on the replays. It's just, honestly, it's a fun time to connect with all of you. So it's cool. You know, I mean, we don't have this connection through the videos. I mean, obviously we read the comments, but we don't have like this live interaction like, hey, Doc, hey, Jamie, hey, Matt Hill, you know what I mean? Like all the people that are here. Rebecca, I mean, seriously, all the hundreds of people that are here right now.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel like it's good.
Yep. All right, we should, another funny one?
No, just people. Yeah, I don't need to read everything aloud.
Yeah.
I'll read you later. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you, everybody. Again, we'll let you go. Have a good night. Thanks for joining us. We know it's late. We'll let you go, and I'll catch you again in the morning. Final thoughts?
No, we're good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Thanks again for the discussion. We appreciate it. Subscribe, and have a good night. We'll catch you again later.
Okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Yeah, see ya.